The Mega Man franchise is one I've been playing my entire life and very much view it as one of the pioneers of game franchises. Since its debut in 1987, the franchise has spawned 36 mainline titles spread across 7 different series, each unfolding in distinct eras of the overarching timeline. Until recently, I've played every single one, with the exclusion of a single series within the franchise, and as you may have guessed from the title of the video, that was the Mega Man Legends series. The original Mega Man Legends initially released on the PlayStation in 1997 and was later ported to the Nintendo 64 in 2000. This game brought Mega Man into the third dimension and leaned more into the action-adventure genre. As but a wee boy, the third dimension was a new concept I was trying to get my head around, and had not yet developed the gaming chops to get very far in the original Mega Man Legends, and ended up abandoning it uncompleted. But now, as a man with fully developed chops, I've decided to return to the Mega Man Legends series and finally complete it. I played the 2005 PSP ports of these games on the PS3, and if anyone is interested in doing the same, the PS3 store is still available directly on the console. They make it a little bit of a challenge to access, but it's still totally doable. Alternatively, if you opt to emulate, there are far more controller and visual customization options available to you. The Legends series unfolds thousands of years after the events between the Classic series and the ZX series. In this world, a vast ocean blankets the land, leaving only occasional islands for the remaining civilization. Their level of technology is not too dissimilar from our own, and humans have been replaced by almost identical artificial lifeforms known as carbons. Among them are individuals known as diggers, who explore ancient underground ruins protected by reaverbots in search of quantum refractors. These crystals possess the ability to generate immense energy, serving as the primary energy source for this world. In Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, players control Mega Man Volnutt, a digger journeying with Barrel Casket and his granddaughter Roll, a talented mechanic who is capable of repairing, modifying, and piloting nearly any type of machine. As they journey to various locations in pursuit of refractors, Mega Man frequently finds himself at odds with the Bonnes, a notorious family of pirates on a relentless quest for the Motherlode, a legendary treasure highly coveted by diggers. This fabled treasure is rumored to hold such immense power that it could sustain civilization indefinitely. The pirate crew comprises Teasel Bonne, the leader, his younger sister Tron Bonne, and their baby brother Bonne Bonne. Additionally, they're accompanied by their 41 servbots serving as loyal henchmen. In contrast to villains from other Mega Man series, the Bonne's personalities carry a more humorous tone, comparable to Team Rocket from Pokemon. However, I should note that the series doesn't shy away from more serious conflicts, an aspect I'll delve into in a bit. In terms of basic gameplay mechanics, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 are very similar. Beyond Mega Man's iconic Buster Arm, players can equip his other arm with a diverse array of special weapons.
I'm a monster!
These weapons are crafted by Roll, using items discovered throughout the world. Items and currency can be found in various places, such as chests, cracks in ruined walls, and trash cans, so be mindful to check every one of these you come across to ensure you don't miss any valuable new equipment. Armor pieces and buster parts can also be found, crafted, or purchased. In the first game, unique items can enhance Mega Man's defense, speed, jumping ability, and increase the number of equipable buster parts. In the sequel, various armor pieces can be acquired, with Mega Man having slots for a helmet, armor, and shoes respectively, each providing additional defense and mobility upgrades. Both games allow for the equipping of 2 buster parts, along with an additional unlockable slot later in the game. Buster parts offer various enhancements to the buster's stats, including attack, energy, range, and rapid. Most of Mega Man's equipment, including special weapons, life gauge, and support items like the energy canteen, could be upgraded at a cost. The expense for upgrades increases with each successive enhancement. Furthermore, in the second game, players can acquire additional support items, such as the flame and light barriers, offering specific resistances, or the rebreather, enabling underwater exploration. While the first game is great in its own right, the sequel excels in nearly every aspect. Beyond the improved gameplay mechanics, the controls are much closer to contemporary standards, and the map is significantly expanded. Instead of confining the entire game to a single island, Mega Man now explores various islands with diverse biomes in search of the 4 keys that unlock the Motherlode. After each mission, instructions for the next endeavor are received by visiting Barrel and Blucher on a giant airship called the Sulphur Bottom, which coincidentally is what they called me in the hood. It was enormously fun to revisit Mega Man Legends after such a long time and finally complete both it and the sequel. The story is quite whimsical and generally lighthearted, until it's not. As mentioned, in both games, the main antagonists are more goofy than they are intimidating, and these guys serve as your primary obstacles until the final act, where the stakes suddenly become monumental. All of the characters and robots are so well designed, showcasing a distinct style that takes advantage of the limitations of the time. I love the early low-poly, pixelated 3D aesthetic. It radiates a charm that unfortunately is rather scarce in today's gaming landscape. But to my delight, this aesthetic seems to be making a comeback in the indie scene. I'm hoping that this resurgence could encourage Capcom to finally do something with this series. However, I'll delve into my thoughts on that after discussing the Mega Man Legends prequel spin-off, The Misadventures of Tron Bonne. Full disclosure, I haven't fully completed The Misadventures of Tron Bonne as of writing the script for this video. Originally, I planned to play all 3 games in order of release. However, when I started Tron Bonne, I noticed significant gameplay differences from the mainline games. So I decided to complete the main games first, and then enjoy Tron Bonne at a more leisurely pace. This is a departure from my usual approach of completing a game before discussing it. But given it's a spin-off, I won't spend too much time on it beyond explaining what it is and how it differs from the main Legends games. Released between Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, The Misadventures of Tron Bonne offers players a unique perspective by putting them in the shoes of the infamous Tron Bonne. The narrative unfolds before the events of the first game, where Tron's brothers are captured by a rival pirate crew. She discovers that her brother Teasel had defaulted on repaying a loan used to build their flying fortress. Faced with the challenge of saving her brothers, Tron must gather 1 million zenny to repay the loan by any means necessary. But mostly theft. Unlike the 2 main games, the spin-off is divided into 3 primary gameplay types. One type of mission mirrors the main games, placing Tron in a mech suit. In this suit, players engage in combat similar to the main games. Additionally, they can designate targets for their accompanying team of servbots to investigate and return with valuable loot. The second type involves moving box puzzle stages, where Tron Bonne must pilfer crates from a shipping dock by loading them onto her own ship. There's a limit to how many times a crate can be lifted, and how many squares Tron can traverse while holding a crate. In the final gameplay type, you pilot a drone in first-person view while searching for treasure. During these missions, using the servbots becomes crucial as they can assist in dismantling traps and dealing with reaver bots. These 3 gameplay types are enjoyable enough for a spin-off title, and I likely would have powered through this game before Legends 2 if not for one aspect: the servbot management. After every mission, Tron returns to the airship. Here, you can interact with each servbot, send them on scouting missions, give them items to unlock their skills and enhance their stats, and develop and purchase new equipment. Due to the time constraints of video production, I made the decision to prioritize the main titles initially and return to the Misadventures of Tron Bonne later to give each aspect the adequate time investment it deserves. However, if you're considering playing the Misadventures of Tron Bonne, my recommendation is to do so before Legends 2, as it introduces certain characters from that game. The entire Mega Man Legends series is a worthwhile experience, and I've been eagerly anticipating a Mega Man Legends Legacy collection. However, having recently played them, I recognize that the controls would benefit from serious reworking to appeal to a wider audience. Legends 2 made some improvements, allowing the use of both thumbsticks. However, Legends 1 and Tron Bonne use L1 and R1 for camera rotation, which, while manageable after some practice, is brutal to get used to. I also fear that implementing modern controls might eliminate a lot of the challenge, but it's possible that the game could be rebalanced to account for this. Or, if modernizing the controls proves to be too arduous for Capcom, I'd be perfectly content with having the original versions bundled with a new entry. For those unfamiliar, Mega Man Legends 3 was a project tragically cancelled back in 2011. Capcom experimented with a new method of game development and interest gauging called the Dev Room. This Dev Room was a forum for fans to contribute ideas, vote on designs, and in a sense, be a part of the development process. Unbeknownst to the community at the time, The game's development was contingent on their involvement, but after long periods without substantive updates, members became disengaged, ultimately becoming the justification Capcom provided for ending the project. A detailed video by Matt McMuscles chronicles the entire saga, and if you want to learn more about what happened to Mega Man Legends 3, I highly recommend that video. I'll leave a link in the description. Whenever there's news of an upcoming Capcom event or presentation, the only thing I tune in for is Mega Man, and every time I find myself let down. Don't get me wrong, I love the Mega Man Legacy collections, but the time gaps between each one are excessively long. The first Legacy collection released in 2015, just over 8 years ago. We're still missing the Legends and Star Force Legacy collections, as well as several spin-offs, which together could form a compelling collection of their own. This series has so much potential, and it's disheartening to see it wasted on nothing more than a gacha mobile game. Ultimately, I hope that Capcom will begin treating this beloved franchise with the love and attention it truly deserves, and refocus their efforts on the Blue Bomber once more. But what are your thoughts? Is there something you'd like to see Capcom do with the Mega Man franchise? A remake, a new entry in an existing series, or perhaps an entirely new series? Let's discuss it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. I've been Pungent Funk. Keep it funky, fellas.